Hello, speedsters. Welcome to Fanboys Retro Review. I'm Flashpoint Comics, and tonight I'm joined with my wonderful co-host, Comic Foo 2814, Tony Fett, and Tim the Comic Collector. How is everyone doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having us on.
I'm Black Adam-tastic today with my old school Black Adam shirt that I found. I was wearing Black Adam.
It's the closest thing you had to the Flash.
I have Flash shirts. I just, figured I was going to be different. It's different, but it's the same because it's still a lightning bolt.
Right.
I wore my Flash shirt last night, so.
Yeah, I think I wore mine last week because I tried finding it and it must be in the dirty pile.
That's fine.
All right. Well, let's shout out the chat really quick, and then I guess we'll go over news because I know you guys were sharing a bunch. I've been trying not to follow it because it gets more and more upsetting the more that I read it, honestly. Helmet of Fate, always good to see you. Tim, Southern Comic Geek, it's nice to see you in here. Haven't really seen you in one of my videos before, so that's great to have you here. And
yes, and yes, hold on. Southern Comic Geeks wants to know, in the picture, is that Tim the Comic Collector with boobs? And yes, it is.
Yeah.
Just
mistakes weren't made.
Mistakes were made.
And then always Magic Lasso Ryan. It's always a pleasure to have you in the chat here, and it's always great to have you in anyone's chat. You're such a great supporter. So, I mean, what news do you guys have? I know you guys were blowing it up with links this week, so I know you guys have a lot to talk about.
Oh, bro, let me pull it up.
Comic book news, actually.
Like book news?
Yeah.
Book news.
I only have one bit of news. I'll just throw it out there that in Batgirl 50.
That's my news.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go.
Oh, no. Well, for those that don't know, because Ruby Rose quit Batwoman, they're creating a brand new character to be Batwoman for the show. Well, that character is going to make her comic debut, in Batgirl 50. So, I don't know if she's going to be. I think it comes out Wednesday.
So a preview came out of I don't know, close to 10 pages. I made the mistake of reading it.
This is what I want to know. Are they pushing her to be Batwoman in the comic?
Okay,
or is it just the character?
They are repeating all the same mistakes. The preview pages show Batgirl arguing with her father. Her father thinks Batgirl is responsible, I guess, for her brother's death. And she's angry and pouty about it. And then she goes walking by like these Antifa guys pulling down statues. And she's like, well, I guess it's time we get new heroes. She walks by these like rioters and she joins in. And then she goes and she meets this homeless girl who's angry that the congresswoman that Batgirl works for isn't giving enough free housing for the homeless. Because that's the problem with the homeless, right? That's the preview that they gave us. And that homeless person, by the way, is Ryan Wilder. That's our new Batgirl.
Well, you see, I knew they said Cassandra was going to be Batgirl. So maybe they're going to have multiple.
I don't know, dude. I think it's going to be Ryan Wilder. They changed that. They said it's going to be a brand new character, and they're introducing her in Batgirl 50 first this week.
Wow.
But then the TV show is going to be based on that character. So they're doing
this
exactly
is me having
what
an aneurysm thinking about all that.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Hurts my brain, man.
Yeah, I don't even understand what's going on because I heard the news that CW they casted. I read it, but I didn't understand why they were making such a big deal about the comic books. So.
Yeah, and it's what's really surprising is, again, it just seems like they're doing the same stuff that got them such bad, feedback the first time. So,
well, all I can say is, guys, the only way to listen to us is if we let them know with our wallets.
That's true.
So they can publish whatever they want, but if it doesn't sell, they'll know quick what we want.
Batgirl especially, it seemed like a lot of negative feedback I've heard was that it was too political. So it's like, let's just go even more in that direction.
They definitely are.
Captain Comics, how you doing, buddy?
What's up?
How's it going, Captain?
Yeah,
So
definitely nice to see him. I haven't seen him in a hot minute.
yeah, but that was the really the only news I saw that came out this week.
Yeah, like the only non-movie stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say movie stuff is still in full force, which is crazy because they keep delaying the movie that they already have.
I
Yeah,
know.
like for me personally, it's like I can't even get excited anymore because we're hearing more. It's like every week, it's so much movie and TV news, but they're not actually making any of it yet. So it's like we're so far away from it ever coming out. If it actually does, like so much can
and
change.
half the times it doesn't. Like the rumors
Yeah.
fall flat. It's like
Well, remember when Green Lantern came out, they were already talking about Green Lantern 2. When they were doing Batman, Superman, they were talking about Justice League 2.
well, and there's news around that this week, right?
Yeah.
They're talking about like something with Ryan Reynolds and Green Lantern again.
Yeah, from the articles that I found, he could be making a Green Lantern announcement this week.
That's insane.
We see that was heavy. Like we all thought it was even fact leading up to fandom when it got like shot down. Remember?
Well, you're right. That sucks. But I've seen them, rumor mill put some stuff out. It gets shot down. Only realized they had to shoot it down because that was part of the contract. It's part of the DNA kind of thing. Do not disclose agreement or whatever. And then they turn around and confirm the whole thing when it's time. So it's still possible, especially if he's expected to make an announcement this week.
All that could have been set in motion because remember when Disney bought Marvel, the heavy rumor was they weren't going to do Deadpool anymore. I mean, I guess now they're doing Deadpool, but in that period of time, they could have swooped in and signed him to a Green Lantern deal.
Yes. But from what I understand, Deadpool's going to be the new Stan Lee. In terms of cameo, he's going to cameo in just about everything, doing something fun, which I think is a cool idea.
Yeah. I think DC should do that with Ambush Bug.
That actually would be kind of neat,
It would.
And they should do that with a dead Ambush Bug in everything. Because if you look at video games, for example, for whatever reason, Green Arrow is the dead thing. And every video game cover or trailer, the Green Arrow is dead. DC Universe Online, remember the big cinematic trailer opens up? What is the first thing you see? A dead Green Arrow.
You're right.
Same thing with Injustice. That you zoom out, first thing you see, dead Green Arrow.
You just reminded me that I forgot. I got I believe it was Ambush Bug #1, the one that looks it's a part of a mini series that looks like Superman 1. And in the back of it, it had like the top 30 tips for comic collectors, and it was like hilarious. I was going to read it at a show and tell, and I just forgot about it.
Awesome.
So, did you guys see Southern Comic Geeks? Is that true that they took off Jeff Johns off of the Snyder Cut, and then they put Deathstroke and Joker in there? Wasn't that some of the news for the movie?
Yep.
Oh,
I heard something about Joker.
Jared Leto is coming back, which I think continuity-wise, it only makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I loved what they did with Deathstroke, even though there was so little of them in that movie. Like him just in the boat at the end there is so
cool.
Great.
Yeah.
You know what all this has proved, though? There really never was a Snyder Cut because he's just basically making an entire new movie.
Which I'm okay with. Totally.
There was never a Snyder Cut. It was never finished, is the thing.
Yeah. He
never finished it, so...
I was reading some hypothesis relating to the Justice League Snyder Cut. And it sounds like Warner Brothers is kind of doing a wait and see how well the Justice League Snyder Cut is perceived amongst the fans and how successful it is. And that'll dictate where they go next. So if it fails and it's a bomb, they'll zag. But if it's a huge success, then they'll zig and go this way with it. I
almost think it should be the ending of that era, of the DCEU, and they almost need a soft reboot.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen because there's talks of Ben Affleck coming back, even for some HBO Max stuff.
I was about to say, didn't he sign a TV deal basically?
Yes,
that's basically what that is.
So from what I've heard, and this is just pure speculation, if you remember the Batman with Robert Pattinson, that version of Commissioner Gordon and everything was getting an HBO spinoff. But since I guess they're having problems with the Batman now with Robert Pattinson and kind of doing his own thing, doing whatever he wants, that option is going to be exercised where maybe they're going to bring in Ben Affleck to fill in the Batman on HBO Max. That TV spot, I have no idea. It's just speculation at this point, but it makes sense.
Well, and it's got to be really hard to film only at night when your main actor sparkles during the daytime.
I was just about to make a joke. I don't want to see the Batman. I want to see the behind the scenes. Like, you know how the drug stars like sniffing coke? You just see Patterson laying on face on the table with glitter lines. And
well, didn't he get sent home because he was a little soft in the midsection?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, I think he got COVID twice and had to leave or something like that. And then he got fat and got sent home. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you get COVID, I completely understand. Go home, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
We can wait. But if you are at home and you're doing nothing and you're supposed to be playing this huge ripped Batman guy, you might want to do a couple setups while you're eating potato chips or something,
Exactly.
I just read, what was it, the Falcon of Marvel? Supposedly he got ripped out to play Captain America or whatever he's doing in the next movie, but like the Batman guy's fat. It's almost like the two movie universes described right there.
Like what I don't understand though is like I really feel like Cyborg should just make cameo appearances. Like we should do a Cyborg ambush bug cameo in every movie. Like don't make Cyborg a big part of any movie because that was trash. I'm sorry. Cyborg was the worst part of the Justice League movie for me. Couldn't even handle him.
Well, I think the actors pretty much burn bridges on that. Like I don't foresee him coming back.
Yeah, who knows? But I'm excited for the Snyder Cut to come out. I think we should do something special for it. I really do.
So we have 3 movies that are actually being made.
Basically,
well, I guess Wonder Woman's made, and then we have the Batman and the Snyder Cut. Then the rest of everything is just speculation, like it isn't actually being made yet.
Yeah, they're not filming The Flash right now. Black Adam, shout out to Black Adam. They pushed his date back, but they are still announcing casting updates and news and stuff like that. So it's good to see that these things are pushed back, but we're getting a cast assembled.
Well, see, but the thing like the Flash though is in a group that I'm in, I'm arguing with people because like I'm not even excited for that movie anymore at this point with all the announcements of like all the Superman and the Batman coming in and everything else. It's like we're gonna do this is the Batman and Superman version 2 of the movie, but we're just gonna throw Flashpoint in there to stop reboot our universe. So here you go, Flash fans.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not called the Flash. It might be called Flashpoint, but it might not even be called that by the time it gets made.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna be at this point Nicolas Cage. It's gonna be Nicolas Cage and David Hasselhoff in the background, basically.
We're Stevie B with Cage Watch.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for the movies. I love going to the movies. My wife and I love going to DC stuff. It's something we look forward to. We skipped Birds of Prey, thank God. Down job bullet.
Yeah, that was bad.
Saved ticket money for sure. When it came out on HBO Max, I gave it a watch. I was like, why not? I'm not paying for it anyway. Having to sit through that bad movie.
I'm a Harley fan, and I didn't finish the movie. I maybe watched
Birds of Prey
45
fan.
minutes, something.
I'm a big Birds of Prey fan, and they did not do the Birds of Prey justice.
It wasn't the Birds of Prey.
It was Harley Quinn featuring the Birds of Prey for like a second.
Yeah.
That's Tony's kind of movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the opposite.
They ruined that movie having other characters steal the spotlight from Harley.
Yes.
I just don't even understand like the way that they were taking the Joker. Within the first one, I couldn't like Suicide Squad with the Harley like introducing it. Like I was like, what is it? What is going on here? I watched 30 minutes of the first Suicide Squad movie, and
I love the Suicide Squad movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I thought it was great. I just thought it was a weird villain choice. Like once they kind of get to the villain, it sort of drops off.
Yeah.
What the original plan was that the Suicide Squad was going to fight Steppenwolf, and then they were going to panic once they saw Darkseid was coming, trigger the Justice League, Then that was going to start. So it's supposed to be, which is going off on a whole nother tangent here. We're talking about the Snyder Cut. There's now people banging the drum trying to release the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad.
Oh my gosh.
Which would be super cool, and I would be 100% on board, which I don't think that's ever going to happen because Suicide 2, I guess the Squad, it's not the Suicide Squad. But anyway, it's not a sequel, but it is. Yeah. But it's not. It's the same, but it's different kind of thing.
You know what else is being clamored to be released? And I saw an article that Ice Cube, of all people, was tweeting to release the Shoemaker cut of
Batman Forever.
Yeah, Batman Forever.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't share it to the group because it was just so over my head. Like, I don't even want to acknowledge it.
Well, if anyone's gonna get stuff done, it's gonna be Ice Cube. So
yeah, when Ice Cube starts chirping up, we all listen.
Exactly.
That's funny. Do it. Release the Batman Forever cut.
All right. Any other news today?
That's it for me.
Yeah, that's all I got. We kind of glanced over everything.
Yeah, I didn't even look at new books this week, so
I didn't get to the store either.
Yeah.
I just haven't been interested in getting the new books lately. It'll come back.
Yeah. But I'll tell you how interested I am. I was planning on it, but it was raining all week. And when I left that day, it was sprinkling when I left work. And I'm like, it's too much. Just drove home. And I'm being dead serious, like, going home.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and it's like, for me, it's a half an hour drive. So it's like, I got to purposefully go there. And it's just like, if I'm not excited about the books I'm picking up, then I'll go tomorrow.
It's like I'll drive an hour one way to go look at back issues, but
right,
stopping on the way home from work, like, too much of a hassle.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's how I felt too. Because I've told a bunch of people I've canceled my pull box because the books are just getting so bad, man. Like even the new Batman, people are loving Batman 101. I'm like, this is worse than Joker War. Holy cow! I can't even believe people are still buying this, And now they're hopping on the Marvel train of design variants, and all this other stuff. So every week you got to spend $30 or $40 to get the stupid variant 1 in 25, and it's been too much for me, way too much.
That's what's keeping them in business, man. If it wasn't for those ratio variants, they'd be in trouble.
Now, I will say, though, DC doesn't do what Marvel does. DC just, they haven't done the ratios in a while. And now that they have, they've only been doing the one, whereas Marvel will put out 50 covers.
Yeah. DC, they plan it well. Their events, and they advertise when these characters like Punchline, Ghost Maker, and all that are coming, and they hit you with the variants on those books they think are going to be big spec books. But it ain't like every single title,
Yeah.
Yep. So what do you guys think? This Batgirl 50, is it going to be spec worthy?
No.
Absolutely not.
It's the last book I need to finish that Batgirl run. I don't know if I'm going to buy any more Batgirl after this, because like you buy one issue, you commit. At least not new, man. Back issue bins, I'll pick up anything, but I'm so afraid it's going to fly spec-wise. And
I have Batgirl on my pull list. I've had it since issue 1. No matter how bad it is, I can't stop.
Right.
So I'm gonna get it anyway, just because it's already on my pull list. But if I had to debate whether or not I was going to go in there and pay for it right off the rack, there's no way.
Yeah.
You know what?
I was just saying, I'm a huge Barbara Gordon fan. I loved her as Oracle. But once DCU hit and that original, I think it was Gail Simone was writing her in New 52. Once it switched to that, like Batgirl of Burnside, I've maybe liked 6 or 7 issues from that and all the way through Rebirth. Which has been terrible.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying, with the way things are going in the world, actually, I think it might be a good spec book. Because I'm just saying, if Miles Morales is hitting a $4,000 book, I mean, anything can happen nowadays. Because that's the one thing that I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like Miles, like everyone hated the Clone Wars for Spider-Man in the '90s. And everyone says that was one of the great big downfalls of comics in the '90s was Spider-Man's Clone War, whatever they called it. I mean, I'm like, what is Miles Morales? Oh, now they're just taking a bite off of DC's plate and saying, oh, he's from a different universe, and here you go. And then everyone loves it. I'm like, So it wouldn't surprise me if this Batgirl 50 becomes the next like $10,000 book or something stupid like that.
Well, I don't think it's gonna do that.
I could give you 2 letters to show it won't go that way. CW.
Yeah. Well, plus it's Batgirl. It's not Spider-Man.
It's true. Yeah. Like everything CW related can't keep a comic going. It ain't gonna drive no spec.
Yeah.
Listen, it'll get up there to about $50. People start reading the story, and it'll just come straight
Exactly.
back down.
This time next year, you'll be seeing live
I
hunts
don't think
and
it's gonna get
dollar
that far.
bins.
Like I said, they released the first 10 pages, so you can go see what the story's all about before you get it.
I can't believe they're doing that. That just blows my mind. I guess it's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So you guys ready to talk about today's story, which I'm super excited for?
Bam!
Yeah.
So today we are going to be going over Flashpoint. Gosh, I hate that cover, Tim. I can't with the Cyborg. But we're
Can
gonna,
you hold that up?
You know how long it took me to find this cover? It probably took me 6 years to pay $8 just to get this issue. Because I was missing issue 1 of this series.
I'd actually like to see you just hold it up the whole episode.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Can't bring it down.
Let me get my stand. I'll set it up here.
Well, I was telling these guys before the show started that I was going through trying to get my Flashpoint books out. That's when I realized I only ever collected the first one. I still don't have the rest of the series.
Oh.
So you're trying to tell me you had the issue 1 I needed this whole time?
Yeah.
Dave had it.
all right. So, I mean, for you guys that aren't aware of Flashpoint, what it basically was, I consider it a massive event that led into DC's New 52. So it was a big thing. A lot of people kind of consider that, a lot of people say that it was kind of the downfall of, DC because not a lot of people enjoyed the New 52. But I think what they did with Barry Allen in this was great. So I got issue 1. And so issue 1 starts off with like Barry Allen waking up like to discover, the short form is, he wakes up and he discovers that he wakes up in a timeline that the Captain Cold isn't a villain. Like what is he called? Citizen Cold. And he's like the biggest superhero ever. He's this Central City's like biggest superhero ever, the greatest hero Central City's ever seen. And he's at work and they tell him that something's going on. I think it was a shooting or something. And he tries to run off, but he doesn't have his powers anymore. And so he's kind of freaked out because he doesn't, he's not the Flash anymore. And then when he goes outside, he runs into his mom, which, if you guys know Barry Allen, his mom has been dead. She was killed by the Reverse Flash. So he has like this utter shock moment of, oh, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be alive. And she kind of just, typical mom thing of, oh, you're being weird. And apparently his father had died of a heart attack 3 years ago, and he had never been to prison because he never took the fall for the Reverse Flash killing his mom. And then, so before Twig Superman, he's not in the story. So Superman doesn't exist, Justice League doesn't exist, the Flash doesn't exist. So there's none of these things going on in this universe at this time, which is really crazy to me because I figured, I forgot about that, and I kind of figured they lost a lot of potential of what the Justice League could have been without, because of other things going on. And then it pans over to Gotham City, and you see Batman chasing down a villain, which I think it was Yo-Yo, and he just throws her off the building, and not nonchalantly, doesn't give any crap. He's just like, oh, I'm sick of you, throws her off the building. And then you see Cyborg. So Cyborg saves her, and apparently Cyborg is this huge deal in this universe. He's the president's right-hand man and everything else, and he confronts Batman. And, they have a conference with a group of superheroes, and they're talking about how to battle, how the battle between Aquaman and Wonder Woman's Amazons are going to, have been going. And there's been apparently a ton of death at this point because Aquaman is now Emperor Aquaman, and I can't remember what Wonder Woman's called. But they're both like way more badass than they were in their own stories before this, and I love what they did with them. And they're trying to, it's over in Western Europe where the fighting is going on right now, and they're trying to figure out how to handle this and what to do. The heroes, they just can't work together. It's a train wreck when you read through like what they're trying to do. And so Barry Allen sees this on the TV, and he's just like, oh, I'm just going to go drive over to Batman's Batcave, like no problem, just to go see what's going on and figure everything out. And as he drives into the Batcave and he goes in there looking for who he thinks is Bruce in this, world, Batman comes out, just like knocks the crap out of him. And then he's like, oh, wait, you're not Bruce. You're Thomas Wayne. And he's like, it's like, yeah, how do you know my son's name? And that's where my book ended.
You know what's crazy? When they're showing that group of heroes meeting, there's the outsider. I just recently found out who the old outsider was. Like, I had some issues in a Batman family when I was a kid. That's actually like Alfred turns into him. Like, doesn't have memory of it. So like it's just a different version of that outsider character there, which I thought was pretty cool reading this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had issue 2.
If you click the screen I'm sharing, there's a map that they show too, kind of
the
showing
map.
up the world. That can I zoom in on that at all? Let me see. Is that better?
Yeah.
So you can see this entire area here is the war zone, where all of Western Europe and Great Britain have been taken over. You've got the outsider here in India. You got Black Adam Protectorate in the Middle East. Looks like Australia's neutral territories. Africa is controlled by the guerrillas, Guerrilla Grodd.
I thought that was a great choice.
Yeah,
that's where they are.
Yep. Pirate trade routes all through the Atlantic. That's pretty cool. You've got
if you read the Deathstroke mini, he's like a pirate on a pirate ship.
Nice. And then Brazil is Nazi occupied. How weird is that?
Yeah, that is weird.
Alaska is the land of the undead. I thought it was pretty neat.
Well, I just found it interesting because I didn't remember, when like them introducing Batman as hardcore as he was, when they introduced Thomas Wayne, when you just pan over to him, I completely forgot when I was rereading this, like how dark Thomas is compared to Bruce. Like when you talk about Batman as a character, I feel like Thomas Wayne is like the essence of what like Batman should really be in order to stop crime and and everything else. And it just like blew my mind reading it again.
Yeah, he's
well
pretty
think
bad.
about this. This Batman don't know Superman, which could be a huge part of that.
That's
and
true.
Someone was mentioning it. I think Helmet of Fate was mentioned in the movie. You don't see it in the main title, but if you buy the I think it's called Night of Vengeance tie-in, you actually find out when Bruce dies, Thomas becomes Batman, but Martha becomes the Joker.
Yep.
So that could be a big part of his viciousness too. Like, I highly recommend. I'll say it again. I don't like what Flashpoint did to the DC universe, but
what'd you do to it, Flashpoint?
Yeah, this series and any of its tie-ins are really good reading. Every single one of them. I would get them if you see them in bins.
Well, I just felt like they took a lot of characters because I feel like superheroes at that time were kind of like, I don't want to say fluff, but like they weren't as edgy as they could have been in back like in the Silver Age and stuff like that. And I felt like Flashpoint brought a lot of that back in some ways. Where you have you have Wonder Woman fighting Aquaman and everything else. So it was just, I think I don't necessarily care for what they did after Flashpoint either, but I feel like what Flashpoint was itself was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I'll keep going here with issue 2. You were talking about Pirate Deathstroke, and just on the first page alone, like you get like full page, like full frontal. He looks like a pirate. He's got the big bandana on. He's got the eye patch. He's got a sword. But what's really funny is if you look in the background, they're on this big naval vessel, and obviously they got these gigantic cannons, like big machine gun things. Guess who's on the machine gun? Clayface.
Yeah. If you read the mini, I think it's really cool. A buddy of mine that used to be on YouTube Library Comics really got into Warlord. I had no idea how much Warlord appears throughout DC outside of his title. Deathstroke's Nemesis is another pirate Warlord. Like, that guy from that comic is that pirate. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I didn't. Maybe they touch base on this in another issue, but I don't know who the people are below deck. There's a gentleman with electric powers, and he's zapping somebody else.
Like, in the book, Deathstroke's looking for crewmates, and I think that guy in the bottom they stole. They stole from Warlord or stole from another pirate, I believe. He didn't want to come willingly. But like Clayface and them, he got a bunch of villains he rescued from a prison that they're sort of new. Like, Clayface hasn't been around very long when you're seeing what's happening in your book. Because that's like the end of his mini, you know, they run into Aquaman, they sort of hint at it.
Yeah. And that's exactly where this picks up. You know, they start, as they're getting closer to Europe, they start noticing, you know, a lot of bodies in the water, a lot of broken down naval vessels in the water. And they actually run aground on the Eiffel Tower because they've flooded all of Europe. And it's supposed to be like the new Atlantis or whatever. At that point, Aquaman and Ocean Master jump on board of Deathstroke's big pirate ship, and Aquaman tells Ocean Master, no survivors. So that's where that ends. We go back to Gotham, to Bruce Wayne's cave, and he is beating the tar out of Barry Allen Flash because he doesn't know who he is. And Barry might be the fastest man alive, but he's not answering questions fast enough for Thomas Wayne. So he's beaten, he's bloodied. They broke his wrist, they broke his finger. I mean, he's really giving Barry Allen the business. As he's beating him up, Barry Allen, his memories are starting to change. He's forgetting the Earth where he came from, and he's having these memories come to him where he doesn't, you know, remember being there, if that makes any sense. So his memories are changing. In mid-fight, Barry Allen loses his ring, and he stops beating him up in order to prove Barry Allen's tale that he's trying to tell Thomas Wayne. And he says, hey, you know, I can prove that. You know, let me show you. And he puts his ring on. And keep in mind, when he puts his ring on, the Flash costume usually comes flying out. He does that, but it's the reverse Flash costumes coming out. And Barry is even more confused. And Barry is trying to inform him, like, look, this isn't my suit. I have no idea what's going on. And then out of the corner of his eye, Barry Allen is talking to Thomas Wayne. He notices a picture, a family photo of the Wayne family, Martha, Thomas, Bruce. And he mentions Bruce. He's like, you know, what about Bruce? And Thomas Wayne is like, you know, how do you know that? And then that's when Barry's telling him, like, on where I come from, Bruce is alive and you're dead. But Thomas Wayne is starting to put a few pieces together, and he's like, okay, you know, if all of what you're saying is true, let's prove it. So that's where it ends in Gotham. We cut to London, aka New Themyscira, home of the Amazons. There's a person running through London. He's shooting all those Amazons or whatever. And this is the best line in the whole book. He says, I'm up to my neck in Amazons, as he runs into Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, just kind of hanging like a trap, and gets him by the neck and hangs him. I thought it was hilarious. So the lasso of truth, Wonder Woman's got this guy by the neck through the lasso, and he asks him who you are. He's resisting the lasso of truth. And turns out, you know, right before this person dies, he says, my name is Colonel Steve Trevor, you know, United States, blah, 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 here to find Lois Lane. And, you know, he's trying to, like, resist as best he can, but he's like, you know, Lois Lane is a reporter, blah, 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 blah. They just kill him. You know, he's dead. Cut back to Gotham. Barry and Thomas Wayne are trying to recreate the accident that gave Barry Allen his powers. So he's in a big electric chair, and he's surrounded by the chemicals, and he's like, okay, this is going to work. This is the accident, like to the T, that gave me access to the Speed Force. So like, there's no way this could end badly.
Yeah.
Getting struck by lightning, there's no way. So he gets struck by lightning, doesn't work. End issue 2, and they end issue 2 of Barry laying on the ground, 3rd-degree burns all over his body.
It was brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal.
I think the animated movie showed that the best though. It was, as much as I love Barry, it was so hilarious watching it. And after the first time, it's like oh, it was just oh gosh.
Yeah, it was funny. You're right. Yeah, that's at the end of my issue. It says "The Hunt for Superman?" ? So,
and that takes us to issue 3, which is Project Superman. And it actually starts off where the last book left off with Barry Allen has like 75% of his body is 3rd-degree burns, and Batman has mummified him in bandages, trying to help him recover.
Looks like Hush.
He looks like Hush, yeah. And again, they're very focused on the fact that Barry can't lose his memory, because if he loses his memory, then they can't undo all of this. And this is where Thomas Wayne is very concerned that he also wants to, undo this, because he knows that Bruce survives in Barry's version. So at that point, Barry's like, well, there's only one thing to do. The lightning did not work. He's burned all over. He's like, so we just got to go outside and get hit by lightning again. So that's what they do. And this time the lightning, they're on top of a building. It blows Batman off the top of the building. He's falling to his death. And at the last second, wouldn't you know it, Barry gets his powers back. He speeds down and he saves Thomas Wayne. And he is back as the Flash. And so now he's got that super healing. So he's going to be healing pretty quickly here. But first he's going to switch back to New Themyscira. And here we're down in the sewers, or in not the sewers, the train tunnels. And we've got Lois Lane, who is down kind of doing some research here. And she comes across Etrigan and the Resistance led by Grifter, which is pretty cool. But it's going to switch back to Barry and Thomas Wayne. Again, as I mentioned, Barry is starting to heal really quickly now. They're talking about, hey, he's just going to have to wear the Reverse Flash's suit. And Flash is like, well, can I dye it? He's trying to think of how he could do it. And finally he's like, no, I'm just going to have to go make a new one. So he rushes off and he rushes back in, and he's back in his Scarlet Speedster outfit. So I guess apparently he has the technical ability to create his own suit. Let's see, where does that take us from there? So then,
just throwing this out there, Wally creates his own from the Speed Force.
Okay, all right. Well, Barry's got the cosmic sewing machine. So
cosmic sewing machine. That's a good one.
So they want to go and start rebuilding the Justice League is basically what's happening, right? And so Barry's like looking for Superman. He's looking for Hal Jordan, and they find Hal Jordan actually, and that's where they realize. I was going to use these for the book show, but I got something else, so I'll share these now. That Hal Jordan actually never got a Green Lantern ring, and you can learn more about this. He's still a test pilot. There's the 3-part miniseries for Hal Jordan in Flashpoint, so that's pretty cool. And we also learned that Metropolis has been attacked by who is it? Was it Wonder Woman or the Atlanteans?
I forget.
I don't recall offhand. Oh no! It was attacked by an alien rocket and destroyed like a whole huge part of Metropolis. A lot of people died, and that's the Superman rocket. Only Superman never came out of it, and so that's where they're like, something's up here, and so they go and they talk to Cyborg. They're like, if anything came out of that rocket and it was hidden away, The only guy that can help us figure that out is going to be Cyborg because he can hack into all the different government systems. So they talk to him, get him to agree to hack in. But Cyborg actually thinks the real purpose is they're putting the team together to go fight Aquaman and Wonder Woman. But Thomas and Barry have a different plan to reset the timeline. So they go down in the sewers now of Metropolis, where they're tracking what Cyborg has found. Looks like this underground lab. And in there, what they find is a giant, like, safe looking thing with a Superman symbol on it. And they break in, and what they find is totally crazy. It's like this tiny little, very sterile room with like a bed and a table and a chair, and that's it. Like, and there's this guy in there. It's Superman with an S on his chest, but he's super like thin and gaunt because apparently he has never seen the sunlight before. So he's never gotten powered up. He did come out of the rocket, but the government got a hold of him, not the Kents. And so he was kind of a lab rat, I guess. But they break him out, and who's ever been keeping him, they rush in. All these like cops, like SWAT type guys, rush in and chase them out of the sewers, where they're all trying to escape. They get out of the sewers. He sees daylight for the first time, and that's where you see his eyes turn red. He shoots one of the guns. He's powering up for the very first time, and this is where Barry's like, "Yeah, check this out." Clark's about to like save the day here. And then he's like, "Yeah, no." And he just flies off. And they're like, "Oh, great." So they're stuck dealing with all these cops now. And that's where it leaves off. But it says next up, Shazam.
It's so funny, or not funny. It's crazy. They're looking for subject 1. They come across subject 2, and they're like, "It looks like a dog's bones."
Yeah.
They had dissected Crypto.
Yeah. I didn't even pick up on that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nicholas Cage, see this. This is your role in the Flash movie, right there.
Yeah. If you're watching, we know you are. We got issue 4, and this picks up with the Shazam family and their foster home. And they're watching things going on. Hal's getting ready to take off with a bomb. Because I guess all-out war between the Amazons and Atlanteans has broke out. They don't really show it in this book. You have to read the minis. But the full-on wars broke out, so it's like the end of the world. And Hal's going to deliver a bomb. And the name of his plane is the Green Arrow. We switch back to Batman and them being attacked. And basically a lady Metamorpho shows up and saves them. And she's mentally unstable, they keep pointing out.
Yeah.
Barry's losing more of his memories and almost has what looks like a seizure. So they bring him to the Marvel family, just bust in the door because Batman assumes that both their powers seem to be electrical, so maybe the Shazam family could help them. There's a whole bunch of talking going on, basically, and they decide to team up and go to where the war is. And Batman, of course, is only interested in changing history, but everyone's leaving, and Barry's like, "Bruce would have went." So they leave. And you can see the full-on wars going on. I sort of didn't like the pacing of this book because it's like stuff's happening you don't even know yet. You know what I mean? So these heroes, they have one cool thing. The Shazam family have this lion that turns when they turn too.
Yep.
And when they were in the house, Cyborg was looking at it, and they're like, "You could see it?" He's like, "I can with my robot eye." And they're like, "Oh, there's a spell on it. Everybody just sees a house cat when they look at it. But it's like a magical tiger or whatever." So they show up. They have the Outsider, and a bunch of people are coming to help too. And in the midst of this fight, it looks like the Enchantress turns on them and actually turns all the Marvel family back. And when that happens, an Amazon stabs Billy and kills him.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then that issue ends. I mean, this issue moves really quick. It's a bunch of dialogue at the house and then some action on the battlefield. The Reverse Flash shows up. And that's pretty much this issue. A ton happens in the next issue, but I really didn't. From 3 to 4, the pacing just sort of changed.
It was crazy. I felt like they could have like spanned this out to like 7 or 8 books, honestly.
Yeah, it's from issues 3 to 4. If you're not reading the tie-ins, you're gonna get lost. I believe all the tie-ins were 3 issues, and they probably all ended by then. So then you get 4 and 5, and here's 5. You see the Reverse Flash and Barry. So basically, all this fighting's going on while Barry and the Reverse Flash are talking, and this is where you get the bombshell. Because up to this point, you don't know what's going on, and Reverse Flash, he does something pretty crazy. He vibrates his hand into Barry's head to make him remember that it was actually Barry decided to go back and try to keep his mom from being murdered, and that's what's changed the entire universe. And Reverse Flash is basically like, I guess up to this point, he needed Barry to create Speed Force for him to turn into negative Speed Force, but the fact that he exists in this universe where Barry was never the Flash, he's like, I don't need you anymore, I can kill you. And you're seeing a lot of fighting going on. Reverse Flash even beats up Thomas. And he's beating up the Flash. I think that's the whole monologue where he's like, I could kill you now, and boom, you just see a sword go through his chest. Yeah, okay. So he's like, the legendary Flash.
Chest.
Yeah, the Reverse Flash says, he says the legendary Flash cannot hurt Eobard Thorne. And you see a sword come through his logo. You flip the page, and Batman's like, but I can. And I love his line. He's like, didn't anybody tell you not to stand still in the middle of a war? So then there's Grifter and all of the Resistance and all the backup people, the Outsider and all those people show up. And yeah, it was Jim Lee's Grifter, Connor. A bunch of fighting's going on, and basically the bomb's showing up. Oh, I done passed it up. At some point, we get the, it happens every single story.
We can skip this part. It's all right.
We get the news that Hal Jordan's plane was intercepted and he died.
We're fine.
I'm sorry, I skipped a part. Superman shows up.
Yes.
He starts fighting Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
Well, he comes down because Enchantress, he kills her.
Yeah, the Enchantress had turned on them. He comes down. I'm probably not showing it well here. On this side, smashes her in half. And then attacks Wonder Woman and Aquaman. And that's when the bomb's showing up. And the world's being destroyed. So Barry takes off running to try and run back in time like he has to or he's going to die. And you actually get some cool closure. He gets to talk to his mom a little bit about what happens. He goes back and actually, I love the art they did there. He races into the time stream to stop himself from originally stopping his mother dying. And as he runs through it, you get some versions of the multiverse. But Barry himself actually runs from his outfit into the New 52 outfit.
Oh, yeah.
As he changes, you can see the New 52 people right here.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird the Grifter was up front and center with the Justice League, because at least to my knowledge, he didn't
Aquaman,
have
right?
Yeah, he didn't have a big successful series that I know of in New 52, but it seemed like they were poising him to.
Yeah.
And he comes back too. He wakes up just like he did in issue 1 at his desk, but everything's back to normal, except, as you can see, they're all in the New 52 outfits.
Yeah.
And a pretty touching thing, he goes and tells Bruce what happens. He's checking to make sure Bruce is Bruce, and actually gives Bruce a letter from Thomas.
Yep.
And I thought it was pretty emotional. Like, you even see over here, Batman sort of almost faints when he gets the letter. Yeah. Like, it impacts him so much. And he's crying, and he's just like, you're one hell of a messenger, Barry. And they're just in the Batcave hanging out, and that's how it ends.
Yeah, I love that part. It was great.
Yeah.
I like the ad on the back of that book, too.
Yeah. The 2011, when New 52 happened, Green Lantern was as big as it got, and that's when the movie was coming.
Oh, what a miss.
Tons of hype. They were already talking about Sinestro in number 2.
Especially at the end of the Green Lantern movie where you saw him. Dang, you're right. I don't even want to talk about it.
One thing we didn't talk about, we said Hal didn't have the ring, but actually why he didn't have the ring in Flashpoint is because Abin Sur never died. And so there was also a mini with the Abin Sur 3-part mini in Flashpoint that kind of told his story as well. And what is kind of cool is look at that. That is the Abin Sur from the movie.
Yeah.
You're right.
You notice that? I mean, they got the ad at the top too, but that's definitely the one from the movie.
See, the craziest thing for me about like Flashpoint though is I feel like they've ruined, like with the New 52, there was so much like, possibility, that they could have done, and I felt like they kind of just like threw it all away. The Batman series wasn't too bad, I guess, but and I actually, let me take that back. I enjoyed some of the New 52 Flash. I didn't care for New 52 Wally West and any of that nonsense, but I mean overall, like the New 52 wasn't is great. Like you had all these awesome characters, like even Cyborg. I felt like they tried to make Cyborg this huge character in Flashpoint and make it believe like he's gonna get this huge, great story. And then they're like, "Yeah, no, he's Cyborg. He still sucks."
Yeah, I don't dislike New 52 because of the stories. I hate that they got rid of a lot of history and characters. Like Wally didn't exist anymore. But the first half of New 52, for the most part, every series was good. And stuff like Justice League and Green Lantern that kept the same writer was good to the end.
I agree.
It was just about DCU. Yeah, DCU sucked.
Although action comics, I did not like from the beginning. I didn't like what they did to Superman.
Yeah, Superman was a little weird. Like we're seeing what happened to him again now. Like they killed him again. They revealed his identity. They're doing it again now. Like, how do you have a big reveal Superman's identity twice in less than 10 years? Like, shouldn't that send some warning bells to your company? Like,
yeah.
So,
still, this is a great story in DC Comics. Definitely one of the best, better ones.
I would give this one probably all the way through a 5. I mean, I might ding the story to like a 4.5 just because anything that you have to have the tie-ins to read, I think it's dinged a little bit. But other than that, probably a 5 all the way through.
Yeah, Andy Kubert did some fantastic artwork in this too.
Yeah, I didn't even mention at one point you see Flash's eyes and there's little lightning bolts in them. You could almost miss it in one of these panels. Like
that was when he got his powers back. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was either going to be extra crispy or
exactly
get his powers back because he wasn't going to survive the second hit.
No.
Well, for me, like the only problem, I give it a 4.5 story. Like I feel like they threw in the Reverse Flash as like an afterthought. It was kind of weird for me, that he didn't have any memory of traveling back in time, and then up until the end of the series when he's like, "Oh wait, I did this." I was like, "Well, for me that didn't make sense." I was like, "How do you just forget that you went back and saved your mom?"
Well, he was forgetting his memory the whole time though.
Yeah, that's
his
true.
memory was being written over. I kind of agree with you. He was thrown in for the big plot reveal, but other than that, there wasn't use for him. I mean, it was cool to see Batman kill him, but other than that, I mean,
yeah. What about you, Tony? What do you think? Oh, we can you hear him?
Okay, much better. Sorry.
I was like, did we make Tony mad? Is he just ignoring us?
Yes, but I would agree a lot with what was said already. It's a terrific story. It's got great art. I mean, this is a DC classic story. In fact, it was so classic, it's being inspired to the Flash movie that they're currently writing now. That's how much of an impact this was. And keep in mind, this reset an entire universe. So
it was a good way to do it. Not that I wanted it done. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I'd give this a pretty high score. I would say 4.5 across the board.
Not bad.
Everything. Yeah.
Boxes of comics. I'm super excited for Batfleck being in the Flash movie. I know a lot of people don't like Batfleck, but I loved him. So,
If only you were excited for the Flash movie.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm excited for some parts. I'm excited that the Flash is getting his movie, and I'm excited for Batfleck coming back because I thought he was done for after reading like the majority of the people's reviews about it. I was like, oh well, he's never coming back to another movie. So, I mean, I'm excited for some of it.
I loved him as Batman. I wish this deal with HBO he would do his script because I think it's a script written by a Batman fan.
Maybe that's what they're gonna do. Maybe
that would be fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, so who wants to show their books first?
I would just like to say one thing though. Like, I'm a Batman fan, and you don't want to read a Batman script that I write.
Yeah. But at least he does that for a living. you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a reason they're not knocking on your door asking to write a Batman script.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Captain Carrot. You could probably write a good Captain.
Yeah,
Carrot.
they'll write. Or
Hey,
Batmite.
DC, if you're looking,
Batmite. It'll be a dark Batmite universe.
Well,
Bookshelf.
I'll go first. It's real quick. I was gonna grab the tie-ins,
grab one.
but I'll show off a couple figures I got yesterday. I finally found a Hawkman, and this is from Identity Crisis. A lot of the Hawkmans you find are just sort of ugly or weird body proportions, but this one was cool. And I'm slowly building a Batman Rogues, and I thought this Two-Face looked really good. This is from the Tim Sale Long Halloween.
oh nice.
Yeah. I thought it was weird. He comes with two hands, and I noticed his second hand has a coin in it, but his normal hand has a coin in it, the one not scarred. So, but cool figures.
Very cool. Guess it's just us, Tim. Are you sure you want me opening this tonight?
You can do it however you want to, man. I don't care.
All right. Do you want me to go next, guys?
Go for it.
All right. So, a Fuminati care package showed up on my doorstep this morning. I had no idea this was coming. And I don't know, Flashpoint. This could be a big mistake opening this on your channel. I don't know what's about to come out of this thing, so blame Tim.
Do you know how to make them big, Flash?
Oh yeah. Let me see here. Hold on here.
There's going to be something everybody wants to see up close.
Yeah, this is from Tim, by the way.
He didn't pee in it, did he?
No.
I don't know. Like I said, that's why we're opening it up on Flashpoint's channel, not mine.
Yeah, I'm done opening. I'm banning mystery boxes for my channel.
It's only Mile High mystery boxes. Don't worry.
All right. So far, it looks good.
Hey, those are some sweet cardboard boxes. Thanks for opening those.
Yeah. I heard you were low on mailers. There is something, yeah.
Gosh,
There's something wrapped up in that.
Let's see that one. I recognize this box.
Yeah.
Is it one you sent him before?
Yes, it's the
Yeah.
Brown Lantern box.
Yeah, I literally stuck it on the shelf, and as I was finding stuff for you, just stuck it back in there.
It's
right.
Wu-Tang gear.
Yeah.
You have a permit for that?
Yeah. All right, so this is kind of cool. So this is was the extra padding, but there's something wrapped in the bubble wrap. Oh, this is so cool, Tim. Thank you.
The one
Dude.
that's in the big plastic, the outer box was destroyed when I got it, so I just kept the plastic for
That's all right.
protection. Yeah.
Check that out.
Tim, did mine get lost in the mail? I didn't get mine yet.
And there's a little one to go with it.
Very cool.
Wait a minute. That's Power Ring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's powering.
Very
Still Green
awesome.
Lantern related.
That's true.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thank you. Yeah, I do not have these. All right, and then there's 3 boxes here. I'm already suspicious.
Yeah, that's an interesting mailer.
What do we have here? Got some JLA, 80-page giant.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's cool.
sweet.
This is awesome. Elseworlds 100-page spectacular.
Yeah, that's the
The one where they
misprint
microwave
one.
a baby.
Yeah, that's the misprint. Yeah,
This is actually the misprint one?
yeah. If you look for the one where it's like I think Lana babysitting a baby Superman, you can see the microwave scene.
Yeah, they microwave baby Superman.
Yeah,
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. Check
No
out
problem.
Martian Manhunter rocking out. That is awesome. So the baby in the microwave is actually in this one?
yep.
That is so cool. Oh, Tim.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's pretty sweet.
Is this the one that I pointed out to you on that live stream?
Yep, I was hunting live, and Dave told me to go back and get it because
I
it's
told him to go
a
back and
key.
get it.
What's the key?
It's Darth Maul.
Oh,
First Darth Maul. Tim was going through hunting for the dollar bin trolls, and he goes right by it. I was like, no.
Yeah. And
I did
everyone
not
was
know
trying to get me to buy Star Wars, and I'm like, well, I'll get this for Dollar Bin Trolls. Just give it to Dave because I'll collect Star Wars, but I'll use it for the show.
Fu Tang, yeah. We've got Action Comics 894. Dude, this is awesome. See, I don't need to.
That's a key too. That's the first. That was one of the last Action Comics I needed to finish my run. It was like 25-30 on eBay because that's the first death from the Sandman universe in regular continuity.
oh,
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. Look at this. And here is a Green Lantern. I don't have this. Dead Again, number 4. Oh, cool. That's like somebody's face. See that?
yeah. It took me a second to figure that out.
That is awesome. Oh, yeah. Then we've got some Blackest Night Green Arrow.
This is a ripoff of the Neil Adams cover.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh,
Awesome.
it is. I didn't even realize that. It totally is.
That's awesome.
Dude, Tim, this is so cool. So I love John Carter, and he's got me number 25 here. John Carter, Warlord of Mars.
Yeah, the STL Comics I always go to, he just put out a brand new section of dollar books about 2 weeks ago, and I found those in it. I was like, oh, wait a minute,
Oh
who
my
likes
God.
this?
Yeah, dude, I love John Carter. We've got Justice League of America 204.
That's awesome. Battle
That's
Royal.
I love that book.
Dude, what is this? I've never heard of this book. Aztec, the Ultimate Man, number 2.
Oh, I have that. I think I have the number 1.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I love Aztec. He's underrated. A new version of him was in the Rebirth Justice League of America as a girl, but that's a Green
Wow.
Lantern appearance.
Thank you, Tim. These are awesome.
Open up the one with the asterisk second.
Okay, that's this one.
Well, this has quickly turned into the Dave unboxing show.
Oh, sorry, guys. We've got Star Wars Darth Vader number 25, and that is the freaking coolest cover. Look at his helmet. It's actually the Death Star. Can you see that?
That's cool.
Wow. Dude, that is awesome. Some more John Carter, number 20. Annual number 1.
It's like Space Conan.
Number 12. Yeah, have you ever seen or read about John Carter?
No, I'm thinking I might need to though because the covers look pretty awesome.
There's a movie. Now there's a good movie and there's a not so good movie. The Disney movie is the better one. It has its issues, but it's not that bad. Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 16. And whoa, there is signed by the writer Ashley Witter. And yeah, now I can see it. It's right there.
Oh, yeah, I hate it when they do that.
Wow. What? All-Star Section 8, number 2, and
Green Lantern fans.
that is awesome.
Six-pack.
Look at the price tag on there. Remember Dollar Bin Troll? Stevie says he can't find nothing good at vintage stock. I just proved you can.
There you go. Dude, this is amazing, Tim. New Teen Titans number 25. Jeez. And the Titans number 1. I think that's an annual.
Yeah.
Very,
That was when they
very
were.
cool.
I believe those annuals introduced a new character in each one from like a different part of the world that year.
Japan's newest son, Bushido.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So before you open the last box, remember you promised to show this on your channel because this is what your fans are going to want to see.
Uh-oh.
That's terrifying.
All right. Okay. This one's harder to open.
I bought this off eBay and didn't open it. I just stuck it right in your box because I didn't want my family to see it.
It's pee.
I wonder why you didn't want your family to see it. I can't wait for mine to see it.
And boy, it made my Google feed fun for about 3 weeks.
We've got ourselves some furry nation here.
For a second there, I thought it said by Joe Steranko. I was like,
Look, oh man, you guys are killing me! Wow. Oh, there's pictures.
oh man.
The transformation of man into furry. Look at that! Wow.
I'm gonna try to find an autograph copy and see if I can help you out.
There's all kinds of pictures in here. Oh yeah, there you go.
I didn't even know there was pictures.
That's how it's done.
So next week on Comic Foo's channel, he will be reviewing this book. He will have it ready.
Yeah.
Next week on the retro review.
Next retro review.
Wow. In the beginning, it was a talking animal that got us into all this trouble. That's how the book starts.
Tony, you got to somehow edit that little little word out.
Wow, Tim. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I mean, the comics are great and all, but I think we know what I like most. So
Exactly.
It was worth it just to get the book.
Yeah.
you can take me off the vig now.
Hold it up. I'm gonna make the thumbnail for this. Good, nice big smile. All right, perfect.
That's awesome.
Oh gosh. Well, since Tim showed all of us up, my book show was I really enjoy death metal and I really enjoy the Robin King for what he was. So I bought 15 copies of this book to get the 1 in 25.
Oh wow!
15 copies of a book to get a 1 in 25.
Yeah.
It is a nice cover.
Yeah. It's your turn, Tony. Holy cow!
Dude, how do I go?
We should have had Dave go last. Yeah.
I know. Sorry, guys. I didn't know.
So if I bought you a tail, would you wear it? It won't be one of the naughty ones. We'll do a clip-on one.
I don't even
man.
want to know.
This community has a real thing for wanting to see me in fur.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to get concerned where the fetish is.
Right?
At least me and Copy send you some good books and we don't booby trap it. like some other people.
Before I show my books, I have this really funny furry-related story. It comes out of Canada. It's not me.
Man.
It comes out of Canada. You remember back when the Syrian refugee problem was happening? Canada took in all these refugees and put them in a big fancy hotel for a couple of days till they whatever. Anyway, that was the same hotel that the Furry Convention of Canada was at the same time. So all these children are like, oh, cool. It's like Disneyland or something. And the adults know what's going on. They're like, what is happening?
Well, just imagine like a lot of those countries are sort of closed off and like almost
unaware.
I want to pick a word that ain't offensive. Like they're trained that people that are different religions, different countries are evil and crazy. So they come to Canada
to a furry convention.
Yeah, they were right.
Yes. But anyway, enough of that. So the books I are going to show are since Aquaman and Wonder Woman were so big in this story. So this is Aquaman Rebirth #1, signed all the way down here. You can kind of see it by Mark Morales. So that was kind of cool. Nice guy, hooked me up. And then we also have the Wonder Woman Rebirth #1. I've shown this, I think, a couple times, but we got Laura Martin and Matthew Clark that signed this one for me. So
awesome.
Those are two sticking with tradition, finding an autographed book that ties in with our retro reviews.
I'm surprised you don't have Flashpoint 1 signed by Johns and Kubert, knowing you.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was telling you how I was going to send in 3 Jokers to get autographed by Jeff Johns. It's not a really hot book. Maybe it is. Maybe I shouldn't do it. I don't know. But maybe I want to save all that and submit like Flashpoint to get signed. And then I can also get, Batman Damned, the Merciless and the Drowned. I can also get all those autographed by the cover artist as well. So maybe I want to go that route. I haven't decided.
I think if it was my choice, I'd go that route.
Yeah.
I'm leaning that way, but I don't know. I'll toss a coin. I have to the end of November to figure it out.
See,
cool.
So I really, looking at those covers, I never thought that they did with Aquaman and Wonder Woman what they should have after Flashpoint, because Flashpoint made them so awesome, and I really don't think they did that. They really transferred that over. I guess to any character afterwards. When was the City of Bane? Because I felt like what they did with Thomas Wayne years later was okay. I kind of enjoyed the City of Bane. I don't know what you guys thought of that. But
about a year ago, wasn't it? It seemed like City of Bane ended at the end of 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all right. I haven't read the second part yet.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
Yeah.
But that's all that I had. Did you guys have anything to add? Who wants to? Tim, what do you have going on this week?
I'll probably be doing I did a haul video yesterday, and I'll probably have a DC challenge up. That's probably all I'll do up to Wednesday, and then I'm not sure. Maybe a collection video or a live hunt. Just depends on how the week goes.
All right, awesome, Tony.
I got a couple things in the air I kind of want to do. I'm kind of between shops. I still want to continue my comic book store review, but just those owners that let me do it are telling me to hold off on just a minute while they do a couple of remodels, so I'm waiting for them. But I thought of this really cool concept where it was where I take a book and it's called Love It or Shred It. Do I love it or is it going to the paper shredder? So fairly simple concept. It's probably just going to be all Harley books, just in the shredder.
I was going to say, we're going to be a whole bunch of Harley.
So I don't know. I got a couple different things I want to do, but I don't have anything definitive set in stone coming out yet. But we'll see. But Tony Fett on YouTube, Tony Fett Talks on Instagram. Follow me if you just want to see random stuff.
Just random stuff.
Comic book stuff.
All right, and you, Dave?
Well, I've got a video to put together probably tomorrow to go through my new Furry Nation book. But seriously, thanks, Tim. These are fantastic books. I don't have any of those. Those are awesome.
I was hoping you wouldn't have the Green Lantern appearance ones.
No, I don't. But yeah, so I've got something new I'm trying to work on for my channel. It's going to be a new show that I'm going to hopefully announce once I hit 2K. So I'm getting kind of close.
You're right there. You're right there.
Yeah.
I know. So I'm kind of scrambling right now, trying to finish off this this new concept, and then I'll be announcing that, and hopefully we'll have some fun together.
Is it a live thing or an edited thing?
I guess you'll have to just wait and see.
I thought I could tweak one out for us.
You know what we gotta do? We gotta do another Dollar Bin Trolls.
I know we do. It's honestly, it's been on my mind, but I got to get to the store to actually go.
Yeah.
And because there aren't the best dollar boxes around me, so it's like a real hunt. So it means you're gonna be at the store for quite a while trying to go through them. So, but yes, we need to do that.
And then I'm Flashpoint Comics and on YouTube and Instagram. I am not doing much lately. I'm planning on doing a big thing here shortly. I'm also coming up with a new game show idea to have different people on and comic book history of the Silver and Golden Age, because I feel like people don't appreciate Silver and Golden Age books for anything other than let's just make a bunch of money. So I would like to educate people on Silver and Golden Age books and the stories, while showing them that you don't have to have a $10 billion book to enjoy it. And my 200 subscriber giveaway is still going on. And I decided if we hit 200 subs, I'm gonna order. Oh man, I'm gonna order this for Fu right now. I'll beg him to wear it at my 200. No, it's a violet. What is it? I'll send you a picture. It's a paws and a tail just for you, Dave.
Oh gosh.
Again, I'm concerned where the fetish is.
Right?
Well, I think the fetish is that we just want to see him dress up. I think that's really where it comes from. Because
I don't.
They just really want to ensure that I never get employed again.
Yeah.
Especially when you go for a government contract, you got to turn in all your social media, and they'll have a look and be like, "No."
See, that's why you do it on somebody else's channel, and you don't put the comic Fu up, so they can never prove.
Right, because I'll be in mask, and that's a good one.
It's my identical twin brother Roger. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good idea. You could do it without, but without actually proving that it's you.
Exactly.
Leave that doubt.
What's up, Flash Ray videos?
No,
Flash Ray.
Yeah,
cleaning out the car, and then he's coming over to my house to finish cleaning out my car.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Flash. You also did a Flash show with Retro Tigo last night, and that might be something you keep doing.
Yeah. I was actually going to shout that out. So last night on Retro Tigo's channel, we talked the Flash with Tim and him. They're great people for about an hour and discussed a lot of interesting topics regarding him and comics in general, where they're going. So go check out his channel. Retro Tigo is a great member of the community, and he's very supportive of everybody. And that, I think we're talking about doing another episode next week. It's going to be a bi-weekly thing, and we're going to start putting sections of I'm not sure if we're going to start from the Golden Age and move up, but we're going to start separating into sections and then talking about it. So, and welcome to the end, Comic Dino. Welcome to the end of the stream. Shout out to
I know Matt. He's a good guy because about every few hours it seems like I get a notification titled "A-OK" from Comic Diana. He's been sending them out to everybody lately.
Man, he must got my address wrong. I didn't get any.
I just want to shout out everyone in the chat. It was way busier than I thought it was going to be. My channel's small, so I didn't think it was going to be a lot of people hopping in. Boxes of comics is close to.
What do you mean? Have you seen who your co-hosts are? Come on.
Yeah, look at the hat. People will come all over to look at my hat.
Well, let's be real here. They came for Tim's new haircut that they didn't even get to see tonight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's see it. Hey.
That
Yeah,
changes everything.
actually went hatless last night. Yeah.
See, now you shouldn't have done that because now you're going to lose subscribers.
But Boxes of Comics is pretty good. He's headed towards 100 subs, I think. Helmet of Fate's headed towards 50. Flash Ray Videos is a great guy. Magic Lasso is a great guy. I mean, tons of great people in the community. Make sure you guys sub everybody up here. It's
cool.
Comic Food. Dave over here is almost a 2K. He deserves it. One of the, he's a very generous guy and great, for the community. Tim just passed 1,000. I think you're close to 500, or did you already hit 500, Tony?
I'm at 411. But I had a
So
whole bunch of subs sub at once, so I don't know exactly where I'm at.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate that YouTube does that because I've heard a lot of people. It happened to me too. Like, let's say something happens, you get 50 subs in a week, you probably ain't gonna keep them.
yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, at Flash Ray Videos, you don't have to worry about that because I don't sell books on YouTube. So anytime I'm live, that will not be the case. So
Yeah.
I think that's it. Do you guys have any other big news that you guys want to talk about before we end?
Nope, that's it.
No.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And remember to ride the lightning.
Oh, real quick.
Nope.
Bye week next week for us, and then we'll be on Tony's channel on 2 Saturdays.
I got
Almost
something
forgot
awesome
that.
coming up. You guys are going to love it.
So,
Check it out.
hey.
Seriously, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Surprise guest on the next retro review. That's all I got to say.
What are we
Oh,
reviewing?
Oh. Is it Tom King? Is it Tom King?
No, I said a surprise guest that everybody likes.
Oh.
Oh,
They'd
We-
like Tom King to
That's true.
to see Tim go on with him.
This person has
Yeah.
never been on the retro review before. If we can work out, and it'll be super cool.
awesome.
This would be not only would it be a first for that person, it would be a first for us for this type of person. If that makes any
Okay.
sense.
So
Wait,
it's
no, that's not
never-
true. Never mind. That's not true. I don't think about it. We've had this type of person before. Never mind.
Tony got like one of those makeup tutorial people to.
Someone who doesn't know anything about comics. We got a
Exactly.
makeup tutorial person to help us review this book. That'd be funny.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out, and we appreciate it. And see you in 2 weeks. And I think we're dressing up, right? Is that still the case there?
Yeah, we're gonna do something spooky. It's our Halloween
Yeah.
special
All right, Halloween
because
special.
we all have kids and we got to do something for Halloween and
Yeah.
whatever.
This is
All
all
right.
new for me.
I gotta get
I'll be out in the cold.
I have one of those T-shirt cannons that you actually put full-size candy bars in. You can actually shoot them at the kids.
Nice.
Pandemic.
Put like a little flag out there 6 feet away from your front door. There you go.
I'm gonna be putting the food trooper up in the window here with the lights dim and like glowing on them, right? So everybody's just gonna walk by and see that and be like, "Ugh."
Creepy.
If we don't hear
Why?
from Fu on Instagram for a week, we'll know he's in jail.
Please let me be your phone call so I can just like, hey, guess what? So, oh yeah, somebody call his wife. He's been there for like 3 weeks now. I don't know if somebody let his wife know.
But all right, guys. Everyone have speaking of Halloween, I hope you guys all stay safe with your kids. Everyone in the chat as well. Please be safe. Every year, there's always some people doing dumb stuff, whether it be, drugs and candy and whatever. So please keep your kids safe. Please keep yourselves safe, and, make sure that you guys, are keep warm because it's pretty chilly here. I think it's down to 30 degrees, so it's getting cold. Winter's coming.
It was 12 this morning back where my hometown is.
That's terrible.
Wow.
But all right, guys, you guys have a. Oh gosh, well. All right.
Well, when he starts answering the door with a tail, would you knock on that door? I know I wouldn't.
I want him to invite me in, but whatever. I'm a pretty risky guy.
I can tell you one thing: the mail carrier ain't bringing their kids there. They're seeing what's written on the
definitely
boxes.
not. After all the things they've seen you guys write on these boxes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. these guys like to leave lots of funny little messages on the boxes for my mail carrier to read.
If it makes you feel better, if it wasn't for my wife, next to your name in parentheses, it was going to say furrysextoys.com. She said that was too far. So.
Yeah, that'd be a little too far, but
I'm a big fan of the Mrs. Comic Collector. Wow. I'd expect that from Acri.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna top that.
I wonder what your mail carrier says when he's back at the mail depot and he's like, dude, this guy, like, he's running some kind of weird business out of his house, I bet.
You better end this live before you get the video blocked.
You're exactly right. Have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later.